Stephanie Dupar. Dixie State is revamping its online presence by creating a new website. The new website will be debuted over the summer and is intended to make finding information on the website easier for current and prospective students. I went around campus and asked a few students what they thought about the change.
It's a little bit more graphic than I thought. It shows you where you gotta go for admissions or academics or athletics. Gives you the links for where you gotta go to My Dixie or DMail or Canvas. So it's very creative, very helpful. Gives you all the insight about what Dixie State's about and helps out at the end of the day when you need to look up something. What changes do I want to see? I just want to see some changes of like more, photos up to date or more things that are going on, or kind of be more creative with the colors instead of just being red and white. They can throw some things out there. I mean, I understand red and white are colors, but they can become more creative with that. Maybe more information about some other things that are going on, especially with like events that are going on campus. You roll down to the screen and it's just basically there. I mean, I don't know if they can do something more about that, but yeah, that's something I would like to see.
Right now, honestly, I don't really go on it much. It's just kind of for Canvas is all I go on. But what I've seen so far, I mean, I kind of like, but it'd be cool to update it and see something different. Like right now, I guess it is set up pretty cool, but it's kind of hard to find things. You have to search it, and then it takes a little bit to find it. But
I haven't really been on it, but actually, I'm kidding. I have been on it. It seems like a little much though. So like, it seems like there's just a lot going on it, and I think. Mostly I use it for the calendar, to see the school calendar, so I think that should be easier to access than having to click all kinds of buttons to get to it.
I think it's really easy to use when I do go on it. The tabs are easy to open, just very straightforward. Maybe less tabs, and then, yeah, I guess just less tabs. Sometimes it can be hard, like looking for something and then it's like tab after tab. Maybe keep it more simple.
It looks like we can all agree on looking forward to an easier website experience this summer. During the 2017 to 2018 school year, 1.15% of the Dixie State University student body was Native American.
Three students from the Navajo Nation plan to share their culture with students, faculty, and staff at the 23rd Miss Native Dixie on January 29th.
We try to focus on a pretty well-rounded student. So we look at GPA. We look at involvement in the community, but also on campus. We look at their public or their interview. They have an on-stage question and 2 talents. So Miss Native Dixie will be a role model to our Native community members, also for students, being able to create that connection with the institution.
This year, there are 3 sophomore contestants for the Miss Dixie pageant.
a lot of people around here on campus aren't familiar with the Native American tribes that surround Utah, so I want to bring awareness to that as well.
It would be kind of nice to share a bit of our culture with the people on campus and get to show them a little bit of some of our traditions and the things that goes on in our life.
To represent the Native American community here at Dixie State University.
In a way, we're kind of like an ambassador for our tribe.
Miss Native Dixie is taking place January 29th at 7:30 p.m. in the Gardner Center Ballroom. Tickets are $5 and proceeds go to student scholarships.
Come down, bring your friends, join the community, join the campus, and let's cheer on for the next winner.
For Dixie Sun News, I'm Ryan Heinlein.
Miss Native DSU returns to the Kenneth S. Gardner Student Center Ballroom on January 29th, starting at 7:30 p.m. The longest government shutdown in history is on its 34th day as of this morning. 2 opposing shutdown proposals will be voted on to end the shutdown. However, neither are expected to go through. The Republicans are offering $5.7 billion for the wall. Democrats are backing a deal that temporarily reopens the government while offering no money to add to border security or the wall. As of noon, a decision has still not been made. A memorial park bench was dedicated on Monday in honor of missing teen Mason Smith. The 17-year-old went missing over 3 years ago and was never found. The bench was donated by FX Industries, who wanted to create a place Smith's family and supporters could visit and grieve. You can visit Mason Smith's Memorial Bench in Crimson Ridge Park in St. George. Coming up next, we have a guest from the Tutoring Center here on campus to talk about some of the resources they offer.
Responsible ourselves for our minds.
True, right? But that's
we can't palm
the
it
issue.
off on being unwitting dupes and just say, oh well, it doesn't count because I got played.
Well, we have some unwitting dupes, Jennifer.
We do, but you can't say because we got played by the Russians that we have to redo the election.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
There is a place where the sun doesn't hide in the winter, where the greens stay green and the crimson canyons still glow. There is a place where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome and the balance. There is a place where we drive for show, putt for dough, and settle the score with another round. There is a place.
Welcome back. I'm here with our guest today, Emily, who is the Tutoring Center's coordinator. So let's start off by talking about the Tutoring Center. So what resources are available at the Tutoring Center? What different services do you offer?
So the Tutoring Center is just a free resource that students can come to on campus to receive tutoring in different subjects. We do take care of most of the subjects like biology, chemistry. The only ones we really don't do are English, which you can have at the Writing Center, and math, which is taken care of at the E-Lab. There's a couple different platforms that we use for tutoring. The main one is one-on-one tutoring sessions where you can come in and meet with a tutor for 30 minutes and you just work privately with a tutor for your certain subject. We also do study hall, which is really great for athletes. That's what we mainly offer the service for, where they'll come in and they'll sit and they'll have a tutor available to them if they need help. If you need help, you just raise your hand and a tutor will come over and help you for a couple minutes on whatever you're stuck on.
Okay, so how do students get involved with the Tutoring Center? Just as a tutor themselves, or if they come in and need help, how do they get involved?
So as a tutor, you can come in, and if you have really great grades, if you have really great study habits and things like that, you can come in, talk to either me or my supervisor, Rob, and we can get you started on that. You need to have an A- or above in the subjects that you want to tutor, whatever classes that is, and we just need a resume, a couple recommendations from professors, and we'll get you in for an interview. As far as clients go, if you want to come in and need some help, there's a couple different ways. You can either just walk on in, we're in the Holland building on the 4th floor, or you can call and make an appointment.
That sounds great. I know I always am looking forward to the Tutoring Center, and I have friends who are tutors. They're definitely the smarter ones I know, so that's a good choice there. So why is it so important to have a tutoring center on campus?
So Dixie State is kind of struggling with retention. A lot of their students actually leave after their first year as freshmen. I think it's 48% of students don't return for a second year. So the Library and Learning Services is really working on, actually everybody on campus is really working on getting these students to stick around, providing them with resources that actually help them progress and succeed as students. And the Tutoring Center is one of the main ways that we're trying to do that. We're providing students with support for the classes, really helping them and encouraging them to continue with their coursework.
Okay, that's so great that you guys are trying to do that. I really appreciate that you guys are taking the initiative to step forward and really help students stay here at Dixie. So how did you get involved with the tutoring center? What's your experience been like?
So I actually didn't start out in the tutoring center. I started out in the writing center as a writing tutor. I was an MLA specialist, and I was referred by one of my professors. And after a couple months, the coordinator for the tutoring center, which is right across the way, actually stepped down because they were offered a position at some other off-campus opportunity. So I was just actually asked to step up, and I became involved with the tutoring center that way.
That's great. Are you enjoying your experience on the tutoring center?
I am. It's really neat. I like being part of this opportunity to really help students and make them feel comfortable in their classes and succeed academically.
Good. So what advice would you offer to students who have never been to the tutoring center or are anxious about going for the first time?
Honestly, the main thing that students cite as keeping them back from coming to the tutoring center is just being unfamiliar with it and not being comfortable with coming in. Really, the best advice that I can give is to just come in the first time, because once you get it over with, it is so much easier. You're going to be so much happier that you came in, you actually took advantage of this resource. It's not as scary as it may seem. I know we're kind of tucked in the corner, but we have a couple of great receptionists that will help you get you started, point you to a tutor, and help you through the process.
So when we're talking about tutors, what would you say are the qualities that make an effective tutor?
Although communication is probably one of the biggest things that we need, we want tutors that are open and friendly and able to talk to students and really help them through. The biggest thing we actually look for is study skills. One of our main goals for the tutoring center is not necessarily to help a student with that one assignment, but to make them better students overall. So we really want tutors to be able to model study skills for other students so that they're able to learn and continue succeeding in classes on their own.
That's really fascinating. I had no idea that studying would be so important as for tutors. I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't realize how crucial it was for the tutors to have those skills. And then is there anything I haven't asked that you would like students to know about the tutoring center, the writing center even?
The tutoring center and the writing center, basically just come in and visit us. We're over there on the 4th floor of the Holland building, outside of the elevator. If you turn right out of it, then we're right there in the corner. A lot of students are kind of nervous about coming in just because they don't know where it is.
Okay, well, thank you so much for all your information, all your help. Thank you, Emma. So it looks like the tutoring center has got your back, so make sure to check them out if you need any academic assistance. When we come back, we'll have an update on men's and women's basketball, along with a one-on-one interview with softball player Rana Cornwall.
Man, where's Carrick? The show's about to start.
Carrick Segmiller approaches his ball after a beautiful approach shot. This ball landed about 13 feet away as he lines up the putt. He'll have this one for birdie.
Hey, have any of you guys seen Carrick?
I think he went that way.
Segmiller eyes his ball as he lines it up. Again, this putt for birdie will win the tournament. He steps to his ball. The putt's on its way. It's got the right speed. It's in! Carrick Segmiller for birdie to win the tournament as the crowd goes wild. He is celebrating. He is ecstatic.
Yeah. Carrick, we got shooter in like 5 minutes. Let's go.
Come on, man. I'm just playing some golf. Let's go.
Welcome back. Women's basketball fell to Colorado Christian University last Friday with a 61-78 loss. The next day, the Trailblazers came out with a close victory over Regis University with a score of 74-70. Maddie Loftus, a junior guard from Morgan, led the team in points with a total of 23. Men's basketball came home with 2 consecutive wins after defeating Colorado Christian 84-48 and Regis 77-74. Matt Conway was the leading scorer for both games with 19 against Colorado Christian and 24 against Regis. Both teams are going back on the road tomorrow to Grand Junction, Colorado for their games against Colorado Mesa University. The tip-off for the women's game is set for 5:30 p.m. and the men's game will follow at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. The teams will go to Gunnison to play Western Colorado University. Women's basketball plays at 5 p.m. and men's basketball plays at 7 p.m. Men's baseball has their alumni game this Saturday at 1:30 p.m. at DSU's Bruce Hurst Field. Dixie State University's women's swim beat the Western Colorado University in a dual home meet. The 2018 to 2019 swim season officially ended with this meet. However, in 3 weeks, the girls will compete in the 2019 RMAC Women's Swimming and Diving Championships held in Louisville, Texas. So the team will still be hard at work despite the season's end. For today's player profile, we get to know a Dixie State softball player.
With dreams of becoming a radiologist, Brenna Cornwall knows about hard work on and off the field.
I'd really like to be a radiologist, so that would mean going to a lot more school, but it would be worth it because I think that is just a really fun field where I'll be able to like help people, but then I won't have to like deal with like needles and stuff.
Having Brenna as a teammate is like a sister. She's always there for us and she's the sweetest thing. I usually go to her when I'm feeling down during the game.
Outside of softball, Cornwall enjoys crafting, hiking, and spending time with family.
A goal is to make it to the World Series with my teammates for sure, and then like a personal one would be to travel to New Zealand with my husband. That's kind of like a bucket list goal and achievement that I want to do. I'm really passionate about like animals and stuff, and I got that from my older sister because she runs like a non-profit animal rescue, and I've seen like how many lives she's helped, not just like animal lives, but the people she's been able to connect to through her nonprofit to help the animals has been really cool, so I'm pretty passionate about that.
If you're really having a bad day, she's the first person you think of to go to because she's so nice and you know she's gonna put you in a better mood no matter what situation you're in.
My favorite thing about being on this softball team is really the unity that we have. I'm friends with every single one of them, and I know that if I need anything, they have my back, and so it's really just like a big sisterhood. Like, I don't know, that's been so great about coming to Dixie and being on this team, is just how close everyone is.
Women's softball plays the University of Hawaii at Hilo at Carl Brooks Field on February 5th at 2 p.m. For Dixie Sun News, I'm Monique Chavez.
To read Brianna's full story, visit DixieSunNews.com. And that's it for this week's edition of the Dixie Sun News at noon. We will see you here next week, same time, same place, and as always, have a great week, Trailblazers.